From the Wayne County Courthouse in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Wayne Goldsboro Television brings you the meeting of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners. The meeting begins shortly with an agenda briefing, then the regular meeting will begin soon after. Please stand by for the Wayne County Board of Commissioners meeting.
Good morning. Everybody's here this morning. Everybody's got a suit on. Everybody looks really nice today. We'll be having our pictures taken later on today. So.
Very pretty. Very pretty.
Very pretty. I don't know about that.
You're the best friend I got.
About midday yesterday, I went and got mine out and hung it so that it would be in my bedroom, so I would jump up and put on a brown or some other color today. And I heard my wife tell somebody, say he's getting ready for tomorrow.
Yes, sir, Mr. Moon.
Why do we have to have a picture made? We're all the same. Same seven guys.
Because we had an election.
Because Carol said so.
We'll call it Marshall.
Marshall's not here, but Carol is, and it hadn't a whole lot changed in what the order that we follow. You understand?
All right, let's get back to it. I lost control there. Mr. Camardi, you got the invocation this morning, and Mr. Gurley, you've got the pledge of allegiance. We have approval of the minutes, and there's going to be any adjustment to the agenda?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Y'all got
Any from the commissioners?
Well, you're waiting for a call back from the school.
Yeah, you may walk that off.
we may have that,
Okay.
but right now I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Then the public comments, and then we're going to have a public hearing to receive public comments on the adoption of the resolution and agreement for existing industry. Is Tiffany coming over?
Yes.
Okay. And we do have some performance this morning. Right?
We do.
Okay. And then we got the consent agenda. We got proclamation for March 17, American Red Cross Month, and then we have budget amendments. Do we need to go over those now, or?
I would do it, ma'am.
Okay, let's do that now.
Okay. The first one is for the library.
Allison, if I could stop, you jumped over unfinished business before the consent. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Did I missed that? I'm sorry. We had unfinished business before that, which would be a motion to approve the building, the 911 call center, and to the North Carolina code for 130 mile an hour.
Right.
Thank you for pointing that out.
No problem.
Allison.
Okay. The budget amendments, first one is for the library, and this is for the LSTA grant, which is Project Literacy and Lifelong Learning Grant. And basically, they've had some changes in the way the match is going to be handled. So they're just moving around the line items. It's not increasing or decreasing our budget. They're just reallocating to the appropriate line items as they feel like they're going to use the grant. Then for FEMA, we are reallocating. We've had insurance refunds received of $41,000. So at the bottom, you'll see that we are recognizing that $41,000, and basically we budgeted for everything in the Hurricane Matthew FEMA line item. So as we're receiving insurance refunds or reimbursements, we're taking it out of that line item and crediting it to the insurance line item. Then the last one is for the sheriff's office, and this is some controlled substance monies that they have received today in the amount of $75.20. And that's all I have for you this morning.
Thank you, Allison. Any questions for Allison? Okay. Go to new business, adopt a resolution declaring the official intent of the Board of Commissioners to reimburse expenditures by the county for sewer improvements and for the schools from the proceeds of tax exempt financing.
Right, this is just, we do this on all these projects where we need to spend some money before we get the bonds issued in April. So this is just to reimburse yourself on that.
Okay. Second, we'll have Kevin Johnson and the Odoms of Odom Farms come in, as they do every year for the Weed Digging Ag Day at Odom Farms. Let's see, 3, motion declining the county's right of first refusal of the old Carver High School property, endorse the Board of Education's deeding it to the town of Mount Olive. I'm sorry.
I said, I'll make that.
You made that motion? Okay. We all went down there and looked at it, and I think we all understood.
Right, and they're already using it, they lease it now. And so, I believe it was Mr. Flowers on the school board who had suggested this. And we looked at it, and I think we seemed to all be in agreement we had no use for the building. And as I said in my memo to you, the town of Mount Olive would continue with some of the uses they have, but also they have plans to get some grants and make it a emergency shelter, so that would help us having something south of the river as an emergency shelter in the future.
Okay. And Ed, you'll make that motion, okay. The next two things we have surplus property that needs to be sold, that's currently owned by the county and the city. We just want to cover that very quickly, Mr.
Yes, you'll see we've got a list of property. What this is 103 South Slocum Street. The Walter and Sandra Merritt have made an offer in the amount of $1,340 to purchase it. It's owned by both of us, and the city is requesting that we agree to the purchase. And of course, the proceeds would be split between city and county. And you have a picture of the property there. So we're recommending that you approve that.
Questions?
And that is 1/2 of the appraised value is what they're getting for it.
Next.
The next one is a property at 204 East Elm Street. The problem with this lot is it's 250 feet in depth and only 50 feet in width. The city owns most of the property surrounding it and would like to acquire our half interest in this to expand their cemetery. I've attached the property record card, a map of the lot, and the second map showing the lot within the general area. We really have no use for the lot, and with a 50 feet width, it's virtually an unbuildable lot when you factor in the zoning setback lines on the two side yards. And as you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the property card, the market value is $3,610. Our value is half of that, or $1,805. So my recommendation is you just deed it to the city and allow them to expand the cemetery with it. And following the memo, you have the map showing it's 50 feet by 250 feet wide. And then the next map shows it in relation to the rest of the cemetery property.
You mean we're just gonna give it to the city?
Mhm.
Really?
Unless you want the $1,800.
I told Chuck.
1,800 we didn't have.
I said that for Chuck out there.
We had that same conversation in the agenda meeting. And next, we've got that resolution declaring surplus real property and authorizing the sale.
Yeah, this is one that Noel's been working on for some time. These are basically the properties that we've acquired through foreclosure. Some of these, if you go to page 25 behind my memo, you'll see that where it says Goldsboro Properties, that means we own them together. Okay, and the bulk of these we own together because we got them through tax foreclosures. Then after that, you have one in Fremont, you have 4 in Mount Olive, none in Pikeville, and then we have some that are Wayne County properties only, meaning they're in the unincorporated area of the county. So what we're wanting to do is to declare these surplus, and authorizing Director Noel to dispose of the property using an electronic auction, in other words, gov deals on that. And but also the local legislation passed for Goldsboro allowing negotiated sale for parcels that are unbuildable and suitable only as a part of one or more adjoining lots. So basically what we're saying is that we would do the vast majority of these on gov deals, but if they're unbuildable lots inside the city of Goldsboro, they have that special legislation, and you're authorizing us to use that as well and work through those. And the bulk of the properties are in Goldsboro. And some of these are just, small pieces of property and that sort of thing, probably would only be of value to the adjoining property owners, which is why that legislation was passed.
Well, we need someone to read that resolution or, okay.
The state law says that we're to set the take place at a date, time, place, and terms of sale. I wrote this that we delegate that to the purchasing manager because we won't know until she works with Gov Deals when all that'll be. The electronic auction's a little bit different than, a standard auction.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Can we go back to unfinished business in that?
Sure.
I'd like to make that motion. if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Mr. Chairman, if I might inquire, we have, I take it, acquired these through several years, and they've just been sitting there on the books, and
Right.
it's
We're trying to,
probably should have disposed of these some years back.
well, it's taken, yeah, you should have, but it's taken a while to make sure we got them all and walk through it. But that's what we want to do, is kind of clean this up.
I know we're gonna have an auction, but what's the ballpark figure for all this? Anybody added that up? I'm just curious.
Hey, several of them, the tax value's pretty high on several of them.
Some of that is unrealistic.
Some of
Well, the people
Be
that
careful
aren't-
what you say there now.
But the people that aren't paying taxes on it don't care what you put on.
Yeah.
See, so you may have a situation, in other words, what I'm saying is, you can't, you would not necessarily reject a bid because it doesn't come up to your tax value.
Okay.
It's not like property that you own that you think the county is overvalued, usually up here in front.
So there's
And-
no
and-
need to add these totals up because it's not real there.
Right, and some of these amounts would be multiple years of taxes. A lot of times we don't go to foreclosure, somebody's 3-4 years behind, and so you could have more than 1 year of taxes here. And that just goes to Borden's point is, they simply quit paying the taxes on it, and they're not gonna redeem it.
Mr. Chairman, one other question, that is, under the listing of liens, these are existing liens that are on the property from third parties? I mean, that's not liens of taxes.
Generally speaking, and I think they're all in Goldsboro, or when the property has deteriorated so much, they have taken a lien and demolished the property. And that's Goldsboro's lien because they have paid to tear the property.
But if there's a mortgage on any of those, if you're selling
That
these,
got cut. The mortgages got cut out when it was foreclosed
Okay,
on it.
okay.
As tax, so.
okay.
And so,
And the mortgage companies would have been given notice when the matter was, and if anybody thought, or if the bank thought that there was something in value, they would have come in and paid off the taxes and taken the property and foreclosed it themselves.
So that's why you're saying it's unrealistic in regards to the values established here.
The bank,
Although I was told I was something. Yes, but yes.
So, an electronic auction, a potential person interested would log on?
log on to
and
Gov
submit.
Deals, and we'll advertise that. So they simply go on Gov Deals and, look for that particular auction, and then they can put in a bid. So anyone locally can bid on it, but it also means anyone anywhere can
Could
bid
bid.
on it. And that's why typically we do better with Gov Deals than a local auction. That's why we, like on used vehicles, we tend to get better pricing, and a lot of those are from out of county.
Keep in mind, you've had a local auction already downstairs at the courthouse door, and you bought it in. Nobody else was willing to buy it.
So really, this is about purging the list and getting them back in someone else's hands and get them back on the tax roll.
You don't suppose we'll have to pay anybody to take any of these
No.
properties, do you?
Well, let me put it this way, we're not gonna bid on it because we already own it.
Hate to lose money on a sale.
we might have to get
This
some
take a
anyway.
position that we don't foreclose on something that we think has an environmental problem, because we don't want to own an environmental problem.
Sure.
Anything else?
So I think, as Joe described, basically this is just to clean this up, if we can, and get these properties off of our list and get them back in productive use if someone can make use of it.
All right. After that, we'll have the county manager comments, and then the board of commissioners, committee reports and comments. And we do need a closed session, is that correct?
Yes.
What's the need of the closed session?
Is to discuss matters with the attorney to preserve attorney-client privilege, to discuss matters relating to the expansion of industries and business in the county.
Is there a motion to go to closed session? So moved. All right, all those in favor? That's right. Go to closed session.